Welcome to the fastest daf in town. Today we'll start the Sanhedrin, Daf Yud Zayin. We're going to begin on the very bottom of Tes Zayin Amud Beis, last line. Sanhedrin Gadol Haisa. So the question is, the Sanhedrin Gadol does it have to be 71, which is what we normally think, but it's actually opinion of Rabbi Yehuda only have 70. So my time in the Rabban, why 71? The Amri, they say Moshe al Gabehen. Moshe L'chaira should be included among them, and therefore Moshe was among the 71. So Amar Krav is Yasfu Sham Imach, as we continue on Yud Zayin with Aleph. So Imach v'es v'at bahadaihu, and you are together with them, and therefore Moshe is part of the 71. Rabbi Yehuda Imach mishum shchina. Says Rashi, Imach yamda michutz l'oil, stand outside of the oil. Oil mishum shchina just means don't go into there because of the shchina. Lashon acher mishum shchina shetish shchina lehim hutzrach liyos Moshe imahen, because of the shchina Moshe needed to be with them. Rabbanan Eimer Krav nasu itcha b'masa am itoch v'at bahadaihu. They should carry the burden together with them. Says Rashi, Nafkahu b'daimin l'cha, comparable to Masoyitcha, the Sanhedrin Katanois, Shenemru b'Yisro v'Yiflu Gadayil b'Katana. Even the judges in the smaller courts must be comparable to Moshe. Rabbi Huda again means itach b'daimin l'cha. That it means like need to be comparable to the stature of Moshe. That's what it means. Rabbanan v'vakel ma'alecha v'nosi itcha nafki. You come out from that pasuk. V'yalv Sanhedrin Gedolim Sanhedrin Katana. Taraban. Yisharu Shnei Nashim b'machne. There are these two people, which we're going to see are Eldad and Medad, that they remained in the machne. They didn't go to be part of the lottery system to choose which who are the 70 out of the 72. Because if we divide the 12 Shvatim, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. So it wouldn't be fair that some have six representatives among the Zakanim and some only have 5. So therefore, they had to devise the following strategy: Yesh Oimrim bekalfe nishtairu, that it was remained in the lottery box. So what exactly happened here? Shiva Shasham Kodesh Baruch Hu Moshe Asli Shiva Miish Misikni So get 70. Amar Moshe Ketzad Esa. How do I do it? Ever Shishim Kol Sheva Meshavit. If I get 6 from each tribe, Nimsu Shtaim Yisayrim, because again, 12 times 6 is 72. So how does it's going to have 2 extras? Ever Chamisha Chamisha B'Chol Sheva Sheva Nimsa Asar Chaserim. If I only choose 5, then 5 times 12, there will be 60 of 10 slots left. So ever Shisha Meshevet Zeh, if I choose 6 from one Shevet, Chimisha Meshevet Zeh, and I just leave out one Shevet for two of the tribes, one person from each of the tribes, people are going to be upset and jealous. So Ma'asabir Shisha, I'll choose 6, Vehevi Shivim Mushnayim, and what I'll have to do is I'll have 72 piskin, 72 papers. So we're going to choose, basically everyone should have 6 representatives. I'll have 72 pieces of paper. I'll shivim kasav zakin. On 70, I'll write the word zakin. Ushnayim hiniach chalak, and 2 of them will be blank. So bo, I'll mix it up. V'nasan bekalfi, I'll put it in a box. Samarlehem bo v'tul piskichem. Go and choose your lottery. Kol misha ol biyado zakin. If it says the word zakin, Omer, we say Kvar Kidashcha Shemayim. Hashem chose you to be one of the 70. Mishal biyadu chalak. If yours is blank, Omer Hamakam Luchafetz Bach. Hashem doesn't want you there. Ani Ma'esalach. What do you want me to do? It's not my fault. So Kiyayitz B'Davar Ato Omer, similar when the pasuk says in B'Midbar, L'Kachta Chameshes Shekalim L'Gogoylos, that you should take 5 shkolim for a head count. Omer Moshe Ketzad Eselahem L'Yisrael. How do I go about and do this? Let's just look at Rashi first. It says, Eldad Medan Shlohochu Litoil Shnishtaru Shloyala Biyodan Chelet. So again, what they basically did, they stayed because they didn't want to basically embarrass anyone. They just said, no, I'm not going to pick anything. I'm not going to be part of it. So basically, they weren't around. V'kata chamesh l'chameshes be'b'chayris ha'oidfin al minyan halavim. When it came to the Bechoros, the extra regarding the counting of the Levium, so he said like this. So Kate said, "Esalahem Yisrael im oimer lo." If I say to the Bechor, "Tain li pidyaincha," but say, "Give me your redemption and go." Yomer li kvar padeni ben Levi. The Levium already redeemed me. Ma'asa hevi esr mushnayim alpayim piskin. I'm going to get 22,000 papers, basically. The custom Alehin ben Levi. We'll say ben Levi. The shloisha v'shivim u'masayim, and on 273, custom Alehin chamisha shkolim. It'll say the words chamisha shkolim. Balav v'nasa b'kalfi. I'll mix it up. Or Alehin tul piskeihem. Mishal biyadoi ben Levi. If it said ben Levi, so Amar lo kvar pidacha. You've already been redeemed. Ben Levi, Kavar Padcha Ben Levi, Yishal Biyadu Chamesha Shkolim, Armulotain Pidyon Chavatsei. So this is a way that some people will have to pay and some people wouldn't. So again, it was done through this lottery. Reb Shimon Omer B'Machane Nishtairu. They actually stayed Eldad Medad in the Machane. Mishash Yermo Hakadosh Baruch Hu Moshe Asuli Shivim Ish. Gather 70. We're not fit for such greatness. Since you've lowered yourself and humbled yourself, I'm going to make you even greater. So what was added to them? When it came to all these other people, they were able to give nevuah, but it stopped their nevuah. But their nevuah continued. Uma nevuah nisnavu. What was the prophecy of Eldad Medad? Oimer Moshe Meis Yeshua Machnes es Yisrael Aretz. Great, that's my nevuah. That Moshe, you're going to die, and Yeshua is going to take over and bring us the entire Israel. Great, that's the nevuah. Abba Chanenu Oimer Mishum Rabbi Eliezer, different nevuah. El Iski Slav Hemisnavin. That there was going to be this notion that there'll end up being people complaining, and eventually there'll be quail that we will consume. Olai slav. Rab Nachman Oimer, third answer, Iski Goigu Magog Hayu Misnavin, that they will be prophesied regarding the futuristic war of Gog and Magog. Shenever, Kamar Hashem Halakim, Atahu Hasher Dibarti, Biyamim Kadmoinim, as spoken in the earlier days, Biad Avdi Navi Yisrael, Hadavim Biyamim Hahim Shanim, regarding these years, Havi Ois Halem Gaimer. Atikri Shanim El Shnayim. It's referring to two people. The Ezu Haim, Shnayim Neviim, Shnistavu, Beperak Echad, Nevu Achas, Havi Omer Eldad Medad. These two people that prophesied the same thing at the same time, that was Eldad Medad, so they were involved in the prophecy of the futuristic war of Gog and Magog. So those are three answers, which goes straight to question 9. Either Moshe was going to die. That's the most poshut one. Everyone knows that one. Moshe died and Yeshua was going to be this. About the Slav, or regarding the futuristic war of Gog and Magog. Let's see how he writes it. Kegoin Chadman of Moshe Mes Yeshua Anas Israel Aretz Sarich Shah Kegoin Olai Slav or Chadman de Emerald Iske Gog and Magog. Okay. Weiter. Omer Mar. Kol Nevi'im Kulin Nisnavu Posku. V'hin Nisnavu Posku. The nevuah didn't stop. Menolan the Posku. How to know that all the other 70 their nevuah stopped? Elim, and the pasuk says Nisnavu, that they prophesied V'lo Yosifu, and they didn't increase. Almiyata Koil Gadol V'lo Yosef Hachanam V'lo Yosefu. You tell me Hashem's voice doesn't go up? Elo D'lo Posaku. It just means it doesn't stop. It means it just didn't stop. It says that they did already prophesize. It already happened. I can understand the nevuah that Moshe died, which is the reason why they said destroy them, because how could you give such a terrible nevuah? Who cares about Moshe? Why Moshe do it, right? It doesn't affect Moshe, these other prophecies. It's not good that you can have a Talmud who paskins it from his teacher, telling us that we're allowed to consume slav, or about the matters of Gog Magog. Okay, let's see if there's a Rashi on this. Okay, let's keep on going. The reason why it says miyitin, if only everyone would prophesize like this. So it's like, sounds like a beautiful thing. I understand how would Moshe be happy about this. Oh, it's such a great thing. So Gemara answers, Lo simuha kamei. He didn't say over the whole thing to Moshe. He didn't know this was actually the nevuah. So my killer aim, destroy them. Give them tzarchit tzibur, they're going to die by their own. Because we see like leadership kills a person, like aging presidents. So too, if we find by Yosef at Tzaddik that he died before all of his brothers. So the high level of stress is a way of being destroyed. So let's go. We got to go right back into the Mishnah. So the Mishnah says, it's a very long Mishnah. It says, let's get this down. So the Sanhedrin Gedolah was 71, Katanish 23. We said Menayin Gedolah Shishim Be'echad because it says Asli Shivim Ish Meziknei Israel, and Moshe was Al Gabeihin. Rabbi Yehuda says 70. Umenayin Lo Katanish Shel Esem Shloisha 123. It says V'Shavtu Eida V'Hetzilu Eida. So Eida judges and Eida saves. That's 20. Umenayin Eida Shiasara. So we learn out from the Raglim. And then that's 20. And then once we got to the 20, so it's mashma to free him, even a small majority of one helps. All we need is one more person that says good, that he's innocent, then he's innocent. However, when it comes to deciding whether or not a person should be found guilty, you need not just a simple majority, we need two more that are find them guilty, which is going to be problematic, as we're going to see in a second. So saif l'ra pishnayim l'mishkachas. Understand, you have 23. Okay, so you're never going to find that there's two more that say guilty. Only exactly two, because echad asar mizakin. Let's say you have 11 say he's innocent. Shnayim asar mechayavin. So a kati chadhu. So there's a majority of it's 11 that say innocent, 12 that say he's guilty, but that's only one more. So that's not two. Okay, and asar mizakin the shloisha asar mechayavin tlosahavi. So if 10 say he's innocent and 13 say he's guilty, okay, he's going to be guilty. That's 3. Where do we ever find 2? So So if in the case where you have to add on to judges, sometimes we add on judges, and then in that situation, it's according to everyone. It says Rashi did non be'ilu boitkin, as we're going to see later on Daf Mem, echad aser mezakin, ve'echad aser mechayavin. If you have 10 against 10, the echad omer in the 21st person says in Yodea, Yosifa hadayanim shnai. We add 2 more judges. The haj the hamile based in shakel. Therefore, you have to keep it always even. Deni Yodea kamandale sahu upashulu chavdalid. Okay. Mishkachas wal pi shnayim yudal mazakin yigim mechayavin. So it's possible you can actually get to 24. Okay, that's the idea. So if in case where you're moisif, so then it's possible they could be 11 versus 13. Okay. So if you have to add judges, so instead of 23, you have 24. So then now you have 24. So then it could be a 13-11 split. Sanhedrin Gedolah v'lir Rabbi Yehuda der Meshivim. Close to be like Rabbi Yehuda. That's the second answer, because he says you only need 70 for Sanhedrin Gedolah. So therefore, it's possible it could be 34, 36, a 2 difference. When it comes to adding on to judges, oisen based in shakel chatchila. Now what we do is we always have to make sure that it is an odd number. So pshita mahu tema hadi karmi eni yodei. The person says I don't know. Command isadami. It's like he's still around. Vi oimer milsa shaminle. Therefore, if we listen to him afterwards, we'll listen to him kamash mulan. The hadi oimer eni yodei. when you don't know, we say it's kaman delay sadami. It's like you're not there. It's an unbelievable word. So if you're in a class and you say, I don't know, you are presenting nothing. It's like you're absent. It's like you're not even there. It's an very interesting word. So the fact that you are, let's say you're at 23, one says no, so that person is like is only 22, and therefore you have to be moisef 2 more to be able to get to 24. Okay. All right. So 23 minus 1, but then we're moisef 2. Okay. And therefore, even if he says something afterwards, you don't listen to him. Once he says Eni Yodea, he's no longer applicable. It doesn't matter. So Omer Rav Kahana Sanhedrin Shirokulan L'chayva Paitunoiso, which is very interesting. It's almost exactly opposite of courts, that you have to have. You can't have a hung jury. Basically, everyone has to say the guy's guilty. Like 12 Angry Men, the famous movie. You have to have everyone agreeing, because otherwise he'll be put. My tamaki van the gamiri halonas din l'avile zehuse. Basically, there's an Indian of halonas din that we want you to sleep on it. We don't want you just to simply make a decision immediately. We want you to be able to think about it overnight. The problem is v'hani sulu chazile. If you have everyone that says the guy's guilty, so then no one's going to put much more thought into it, and therefore the guy's going to be guilty. Therefore, it's better that if at least a couple people are not sure, then afterwards they can decide. Amar Rav Yochanan, which is mashma. It sounds like once there's halanas adin, it's possible maybe everyone could agree, but immediately in the gut reaction, if everyone says this guy's guilty, then we're going to say paitu naiso. Amar Rav Yochanan ein moishi. There's also an interesting vort. We find this also by saras. If a person has saras in his entire body, he's tahar. And there's a concept like ein Maladim in a din. You can't learn out ein oinshim in a din. So it's possible that there's sometimes that the punishment is not enough for the crime. And maybe this person, if he's found so clearly guilty, maybe not even shaykh the kapara of Misa. Amar Rav Yochanan, ein moshim Sanhedrin eli bali koima, bali chochma, bali mara, bali zikna. This excludes me, I guess, for multiple reasons. You cannot be in the Sanhedrin unless you're tall, you're very wise, you're someone who's good looking, and you're bali zikna, like an older person. You're bali kshafim. And also, you have to know witchcraft, says Rashi. L'hemis mikshafim, haboidchim mikshafehem, l'natzel midi beisin, l'hagalos, al ha-makshafim, ha-masichin, madichin, kigayin ha-mitzriyim. So, the fact is, you can know all the magic tricks, all the secrets. So this way, they're trying to basically impress people with their black magic and corruption. So if you can disprove them, that's what's necessary. You need to have that knowledge. You need to know all 70 languages, because you can't just hear it from the Maturgaman, because you're going to end up missing a little bit in the translation. Therefore, you have to understand it directly. Not necessarily you have to speak, but you at least have to understand the language. Amar Rav Yehud, this is a good advertisement for Duolingo. Amar Rav Yehud, Amar Rav, Ein Moishivim Sanhedrin, El Mishio Adil Latahir Asasharitz Minatayra. You have to be able to have such a good svara that you can take something like a sheretz, which is certainly tameh, and you can come up with different ways to be able to say, I can prove to you it's tahar, which means that you have a very deep way of thinking to be able to even twist logic around, so this way you'll be able to hear other people and understand where they're coming from too. Amar Rav, ani adain, I can judge v'atarenu, and I can purify it. So I can be matahir a sheretz. And how do you do that? So here's a little way of doing that. Yud Zayin Mebez. Uman Nachash. Shemeimis, when it comes to a snake, in which we know it kills people, it's a very violent animal. Umar Betuma, it increases much tum in the world because it kills. Nonetheless, Tahar, it's not considered to be among the category of Shratzim. So Sheretz, Shemeimis, doesn't kill anyone. Umar Betuma doesn't increase Tuma, and it didn't Shei Tahar, so it certainly should be Tahar. Valohi, it's not true. You can't learn that out from a nachash. Midi havi a koitz ba'alma. You can compare it to like a thorn. What is that? Says Rashi, "I'll have kavachimerhu. The ein ze chamor imhu meimis umar betoma shari kamoken yish kaitzim, a little thorn that could kill someone, but obviously a thorn is not tameh, right? So that's not a good kavachimer. Nice try. Amar bihud amar Rav kol ir she'ein ba shnayim wadaber ve'echel l'shemayah. If you don't have two people that could speak the lashon, the 70 languages, and one that can at least understand it, ein moshivin ba Sanhedrin. They cannot be part of the Sanhedrin. When it comes to Beitar, there was 3. It's just coming to talk about how great it was. In Beitar, there was 3 people that understood. In Biyavna, there was actually Arba. Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Yeshua, Rabbi Akiva, Shimon Hatimaini. All these people. Don Lifnei and Bekarka. And they can be done in front of them, Karka. Says Rashi, Shimon Hatimaini, Talmud Hayev, Nismach Shlobo, Chalal Zikna. Okay. Meisvei, Frak Gemara. Shlish is 3 judges, Chachma, have the wisdom to speak. Revius, if there's 4, Ein Lo Mal Himena. There's nothing greater than that. Okay, so that's a question. So who diaymer ki haytan? The Sanya Shnia Chachma. Shlish is Ein Lo Mal Himena. So 3, there's nothing higher than that. Lamidin lifnei chachamim, says Rashi, kol heicha de itmar. Anytime it says the words lamidin lifnei chachamim, hainu levi shahaya lamad lifnei Rabbi. That's referring to Rabbi. So lamidin lifnei chachamim Levi meRabbi. It was Levi who was from Rabbi. Donin lifnei chachamim. If you ever heard the concept of someone who's judging with the chachamim, that Shimon ben Azai, the Shimon ben Zayma, v'chanan hamitzvah, v'chanani ben Chachinoi. Rav Nachman Rabbi Yitzchak Masni Chamisha. He actually learned there was 5: Shimon, v'Shimon, Chanan, v'Chananya. Okay, says Rashi, lo bo zikna. The Yoshin Bekarka, they actually sat on the ground. That's what it's saying. Don lifnei Bekarka, they sat on the ground because they were not zakenim. Chashuvos, teshuvos kushios zakenim v'hainu donan b'halacha. Okay. Rav Nachman Rabbi Yitzchak Masni Chamisha, Shimon, v'Shimon, Chanan, v'Chananya. Whenever we hear the words Rabbi Seinu Shebabavel, Rabbi Shmuel, that's referring to Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Seinu Sheberetz Yisrael is Rabbi Abba. Whenever you hear the word Dayani Gula, that's Karna, the great Karna. Dayani Deretz Yisrael is Rav Amir Rav Asi. Dayani de Pomadis is Rav Papa Bar Shmuel. Whenever you hear Dayani de Narda, that's Rav Adabar Ben Yomi. Sabed Surah, Rav Huna Rav Chista. Sabed de Pomadisa is Rabbi Huda Rav Ina. Chariv de Pomadisa, the sharp ones, is Eifa Avimi Bnei Chava. Can only hope this is not going to be any questions on a Dirshu test. This is very hard to remember all this. Amaroi de Pumadisa, Huda Amaroi de Pumadisa, Rabbi Rav Yosef. Amaroi Rav Chaban Naharboli. Masnu Rami Bar Barabi. Oimer, if the quotes Amri Be Rav, whenever you hear the words Amri Be Rav, that's Rav Huna. Abiyam Rav Huna Amri Be Rav, but it says Rav Huna the Amri Be Rav. So why would he quote himself? El Rav Hamnuna. It's referring to Rav Hamnuna. Ami Memarava Rabbi Yirmiyah. Shalchu Mitam. You ever heard the word Shalchu Mitam was sent from there? That's Rav Yosef Rabbi Chanina. Machol Marava. They laughed. Right. It says Machol Marava. That's Rabbi Lazar. So whenever you hear that they laughed in Eretz Yisrael, that was always referring to Rabbi Lazar. I heard when it says Shalchu Mitam that it's not Rav Yosef Rabbi Chanina. I thought it's Shalchim Mitam. It's Ledivi Rav Yosef Rav Chanina. El Ipach Shalchim Mitam Rabbi Lazar. Machul Abamarav is Rav Yosef Rav Chanina. So whenever you hear they laughed in Eretz Yisrael, it's referring to Rav Yosef Rav Chanina. So it's an interesting thing that it doesn't necessarily mean like when it was said like they laughed. Like it wasn't mean that he was a person who was able to understand things on a different level, and it doesn't mean that he's laughing at him. Rather, like that's his pen name. It's very interesting. It's just his pen name. Machla b'marava. People, until you learn the sugya, you think, it means they're making fun of it. And a lot of times what happens, Machla b'marava, they heard this pshat, they laughed at it, like, what is this pshat? No. Machla b'marava is just the name of a person. That's his pen name. That's actually referring to Rabbi Lazar Rav Yosef Bar Chanina. Beautiful shot. V'kamiya be'ir v'hi ruya l'Sanhedrin me'av esrim. So, in order to have a beis din in your town of 23, how big is the town? So one says 120, the other one is 230. 230 is mentioned in the Mishnah. 230 is because there's 1 to 10, a 1 to 10 ratio. But why 120? Maybe asum ma'ived taihu. So you think, maybe asum shana. Has nothing to do with it. Esrim v'shleisha, 23 is keneged Sanhedrin katana. You have to have 23 for a Sanhedrin katana v'shleisha shuros. So esrim v'shleisha. You want to have 3 rows of 23, haritishim v'tarti. So 23 times 3 gets you to 23 times, 1 second, am I messing this up? 23, v'shleisha shuros shel esrim v'shleisha, which would be 69. Okay. Haritishim v'tarti. Let's do this again. So esrim v'shleisha keneged Sanhedrin katana, that which would be 23. Shel shura shel esrim v'shleisha. So you have 23 rows of 23 and the 23 haritishim. So it's really 23 tishim v'tarti. Okay. So let's get a comment here. Now I got it. So it's really 23 times 4. Okay, you have the Sanhedrin, and then you have 3 rows of 23 equals 92 people. You have Sar Batalehen. You always have to have a Sar Batalanim for it to be a city, which is brought down in Sachet Megillah. Let's see what Rashi says. Asar b'nei adam batilim b'chol malachal yos mezumanu be'sach neses shachas v'arvis kamrin bebrachos. Kivan sheba kadosh baruch hu be'sach neses ol matzah sham asar miyad kayes. So Hashem will get angry. Krach she'in bo asar batalanim nidan kikfar. Okay, so that's why we don't want Hashem to get angry. So we always have to have 10 people. Okay. So anyways, asar batalanim prepared. Asar batalanim shel be'sach neses hari me'vatarti. So you had 92 because you had 23 times 4 equals the 69 plus 23 is 92, and then you have the asar batalanim. We get to 102. Ushnei. We got to get to 120 though. Shnei Seifrim, 2 scribes, Shnei Chazan, which is 104. Shnei Chazanim, 106. Shnei Bali Dayanim, 108. Shnei Eidim, 2 witnesses, 110. Shnei Zaymimin, 2 plotting witnesses, 112. Shnei Zaymimin, which we get another 2, 112. Hari Meyav Arbesar. Maybe I missed my count. That's 114. What do we have? 102. And then we had 2 Seifrim, so 104, 2 Chazanim, 106, 2 Bali Dinim, 108, 2 witnesses, 110, Eidim Zayim is 112, Zayim is 114. Okay, Latanya, but we have to get to 120. Kol ir she'in ba asar devarim halalo ein talmid chacham rishon l'ador b'taycha. You have to. A Jewish community needs to have 10 things. A pizza shop, an Erev. Let's see. So these are the 10 things that a city needs. And if you don't have this, a Talmid Chacham is not allowed to live there. You can't live on an island. You need to have a beis din, makin v'oinshin, the kupa shel tzedakah, a place for charity, nigvis, bishnayim, it's collected with 2 people. Umas halekas b'shloish is divided up with 3. Ubeis hachneses, you need to have a shul. Ubeis hamerchatz, and a bathhouse. Ubeis hakisei, very important to have a bathroom. Roife, a doctor. Uman, someone to draw blood. A lavler, an uman, a lavler for lead. Uman is letting blood. Lavler is a barber, v'tabach, and a butcher. Malamed tinaikis, and a teacher. You have to have a malamed tinaikis. If you don't have, you're not in a city with a school, with a teacher, then you just can't be there. Actually, a lavlor, I was totally wrong. Rashi says a lavlor is a lichtos svarim, someone who writes books. Okay. Also, you have to have proper fruits and vegetables. Because eating fruits opens up the eyes, which is a very interesting thing. It means a Talmid Chacham needs to have healthy food. If you don't live in a place where you can get peros, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and eat healthy, then you can't live there. You can't live in such a community. It's unbelievable. So anyway, if you calculate that, all these different ones, that ends up equaling 120. From the Nechemia Oimer B'chul Tanya Rabbi Yomi, as we continue to finish up this parak, Yud Chesed Aleph, it says like this. Tanya Rabbi Yomi, Rabbi says, Mosayim v'shivim u'shloisha, not 120, not 230, but you have to have 277. An interesting number. Why? So Rashi says like this. Mosayim v'shloishim k'rim nechemia. First of all, 230, like we said before. However, oid mem zayin, you need an additional 47 above the 230. Shim yischalku based in Yud al v'zach v'echad asar m'chayavin. Let's say you have 11, 11, and one doesn't know. Yosifin me'elu miyud zayin ad shivim. You have to keep adding from 47 to 70. So therefore, you need another 47 in this case. It should be 278. Not 277, 278. Lukasha. Rabbi Yehuda Rabbanan. So the Machlokes Rabbi Yehuda Rabbanan. What does that mean? So let's look at this Rashi. So Shemoisifin Shnaim Shel Al HaChaf Gimel. Im Yischu Shnehem. If then Hari Yud Gimel Mazakin ve'Echad Aser Mechayavin. That's fine. Then it'll be 13:11. V'im Yachivu Chayiv Deika Hatoyel Ra. Al pi shnayim v'im yachachol tzarich oil hoisiv shnayim v'chein oilam yadshu shivim Rabbi Yehuda v'shivim echad Rabbanan. So you have to get to 70 or 71 according to Rabbanan. So therefore you have to either add another 47 or another 48, whether you hold it to Rabbanan or like Rabbi Yehuda. Okay, let's finish up this parak. Tarabanan. B'samta lehem sar lafim sar meyois sar chamishim sar sarais. So Yisro said you should have judges of thousands, hundreds, and fifties, and tens. Sorry, Sarlafim Sheish Meis. In order for the 600, you should have the Sarlafim. Sari Meis, judges for hundreds, is for Sheishas Alafim. Shahari Chamishim Shneim Aser Elef. For the having 50s, you should have it's for Shneim Aser Elef for 12,000. Saria Saros for tens is Sheshis Rebua, is for the 6 myriads for 60,000. Because if you have 600,000, so you should have 10 for the 6. You should have 60,000 judge. There should be 60,000 judges for the 600,000. Nimsu Dayani Yisrael Shivas Ribua Ushmainis Alpayim V'Sheish Meyais. It turns out that there's actually 78,600 judges in the times of the Midbar. Let's just see the question, then we'll say the Hadron afterwards. Okay, question 10. Kami He Be'ir Tehe Ruyal Sanhedrin. So 4 answers. One says 120, one says 230, one says 277. The other opinion is 278. Question TA 26. Same questions we had before. This is on Yud Zayin Amud Aleph. So this is TA 26, which again has to do with either Moshe is going to die and Yeshua is going to take over, or it's regarding Goy Magog, or it's regarding the Iske Slav. TA 27. Madua in Moshivan Melech Sanhedrin to be Roshana. Okay, we didn't do that. Question TB 27. Pishnayim. Oh, so yeah, of course we had that on the bottom, right? There was two answers over here. So either Yata Moitzah Moisivin so he says Yata Moitzah El Moisivin Kol or Sanhedrin Gedayla V'Limud Rabbi Yehuda. The Omer Shivim. So the easy one is Rabbi Yehuda. He says 70, so it can be a 34-36 split. This is TB 27. Alternatively, let's see what I wrote. Im Hein Mekablin Shehem Yichon Lasos Asadin Kazeh. I don't even know what that means. Sarch Hoisif Echad Aden Roimer. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Okay, either 70 like Rabbi Yehuda. I'm not sure. I guess that maybe didn't understand the question. Or it's talking about adding judges. When one says, I don't know. Okay. And that's that. Rabbi Gibber. Okay. So Al Ezebez Davar Metzina Begamara Shemosh Rabbeinu Hitel Garalois Kadesh Shalol Hatel Kina. One is to appoint 70 in the Sanhedrin, is to give 5 shkolim by the Levium. Okay. Manavu and Nisnava the Medad is what I wrote. Moshe will die and Yeshua will bring Bnei Yisrael into Eretz Yisrael. On the birds will come and Milchamas Gog and Magog. Beza Oifen Oisen based in Shokol Chatchila. Afi Rabbi Yehuda 70. And what I read over here, 11 against 11, and one doesn't know. We say he doesn't count, and we add 2 more to the Sanhedrin. Me'ef Rav Lodoin Latar Sheretz. The Nachash kills, but when it's dead, it's Tahar. So a Sheretz doesn't kill and brings Tuma in the world. Kavachimer, it's Tahar. Kami he be'ir tehe ru'il Basin Shulchav Gimel, 120, 230, 277, 278, and that is correct. Hanulach dine mamanis, hanach dine mamanis, hanach dine mamanis. And tomorrow we will continue the next parak. Kohen Gadol done v'dadan oisai, made me'edin oisai, adkan.